So we're going to go to the garage today. We're going to do a little updates of what we're going to be doing for the summer here. It's going to be including this car, and also my 19 Silverado. We're going to be getting some stuff pre-prepped and ready for the summer for drag racing. That's going to be something I'm going to be doing big on my charcoal Camaro here. So kind of to get started with this. This is a 1980 Camaro. It's a factory Z28, original Z28. Paint job, I redid the exterior of the car. I've also done the interior of the car. I've also done the motor once in this car. And I think this year I'm going to kind of push the button to finally take the extra step and kind of do something fun with it. On a budget though. We're going to do some drag racing with this. And we're going to be needing this car to be involved with that for this to happen, which I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, let's kind of get you guys up close, see what we got working with, and kind of see what we can do to her. So let's go and jump to that. So this here is a car that I kind of, actually rebuilt back in 2018, 2019. I redid this car, and it's kind of been my daily driver for a little while. This is kind of a car I've just kind of been really proud of because I love driving it. It drives really amazing and it has really wonderful sound, which you've heard pulling out. But she has some nice 17-inch year one wheels. I have a 17x8 in the front and a 17x9 in the back. And the tire size I have on here is a 255/55 17. Unfortunately, they don't make this tire anymore, so I gotta find another brand that makes this tire that's good for this. If not, a tire that's the tiniest bit shorter. Unfortunately, I have to do that, but at least this one I have matching tire sets on here, so it's not too bad. This is our original charcoal colored car. The louvers are off of another 79 that we used to own that we sold. I ended up putting those louvers on here because both cars of mine both have louvers on them. The interior in this I have completely changed out. It was originally an oyster white interior that had the silver inlays, which was the stripe through here. Then it also went down into the seat, and the rest of it was also white. So I had that all changed out, put in the Sahara grain leather or vinyl, and that was, to me, a good call because these kind of look like a racing seat now, if you can kind of tell. Had the backs redone, the packaging tray in the back I had redone. I had a brand new headliner put in, which they sell plastic headliners that I've had covered in the same vinyl. And then I put a new glove box in it. I bought a used cover, or I forget what this cover's out of exactly, but I ended up finding a used one. I cleaned it up, put it in this. I painted the center console. I put in a retro sound radio, which is a aux cord also, so that works really wonderful. One of the best things I put in this. Door panels I put out of that car over there. I put a tack in here. This is also an original 94,000 mile car. Also, I could believe that. Wasn't too bad. It's also a factory AC car. And then for the dash, I put a dash cover over top, which at a quick glance you can't really tell, but in here there's a line of the new dash, but you can't really tell, so it's pretty cool how that went in. But all in all, pretty simple build. I put new carpet, I cleaned up the floor. Obviously on most of these F bodies you got to put floor patches in, so I had to do that on both sides, and a little spot I believe over in the back, and a little spot in the trunk, but nothing too bad for the frame. I did nothing with the undercarriage on this, but soon I'm going to be pulling out the rear end on this. Let's see if we can see anything underneath to kind of clean that up. I'm going to probably put a different exhaust on here. I'm probably going to put a 3-inch exhaust. Right now it's a 2.5, running thrush welded mufflers. pretty much simple on that. It's a 342 gear ratio, so we'll see how that goes. We have a spare rear end that we might try to put in here, see what it'll run with that in it. Let's see. But right now it's pretty peppy, and it's an open posi right now, so I gotta get a posi for this, or it's an open rear end. I gotta get a posi for this, so that'll be one of the upgrades I do for this thing to go racing. I already put new brakes on it, front and back. Nothing dish in the back yet, but yeah, one of the first upgrades I'm going to do is going to get a posi for this car, and then soon I'll show you on the other Camaro. We're going to get those slat bars, which they are like a sliding slat bar. I forget who exactly makes it. I think Competition Engineering makes it for the F bodies. It rides on like a piston style sleeve, and it hits off of a urethane bushing, and that allows that to kind of get a traction so the rear end isn't twisting as much. But as you can see, it's a factory AC car. Still got all the original lines hooked up. The only thing I don't have hooked up is the washer fluid. Also, for the air induction on this, these flaps still work. I had that all cleaned up, and everything works when you give it full throttle. I redid the wheel tubs and everything. So, and also the engine, this is a numbers matching engine. When I originally bought this car, I thought that it was a crate engine, and it ended up that we ran the numbers and it was a numbers matching engine. So the plan is for this, I'm going to run it the way it is right now. Whenever the track opens up, see what it runs. That'll be our baseline, because I've already rebuilt the engine once. I put a little bit of a peppier cam in it. Right now it's at a 440 lift cam. It's a hydraulic lifter, but it has a weird ticking noise that doesn't sound right. To me it sounds like an exhaust leak, but I've already put headers on, little stuff like that. But I put a stage 1 Summit Racing intake on it. I still have the original intake. It's cleaned up, and it's in a storage shed, so any parts for this I'm not getting rid of. Nothing's gonna be butchered up. I can always put the original parts back on whenever I want to, because I already had the engine board out 5 over, or a point, what is it, 30 thousandths, I believe, 355 engine now, and with the flat top pistons. They're hyperpneumatic aluminum, so that's that. It's still the original quadra-junk carburetor, but it honestly runs pretty good. I did a rebuild on that, well, a slight rebuild with filters and cleaning up some stuff. But it's just whatever the springs came with are on the heads for the 440 lift, which I initially thought I was getting a 454 lift hydraulic cam. I believe it's those Magnum or Extreme Energy or High Energy cams that they sell from Summit that I put in this. But I didn't realize it until after everything was together, and about a year later I realized it was a different cam. So that's going to be getting changed out. I got a 510 lift cam for this. That's going to be a what is it, flat tappet. It's not hydraulic, it's solid lifters. So I got a solid lifter cam with that 510 that this car actually has. It runs really good, and I'm going to be getting a set of aluminum heads from Summit Racing that this car also has, and this car runs like a rape tape. It's pretty magnificent of how it runs. But I'm going to run it first of how this will be. At most I'm probably going to take the AC belt off, possibly, just to help restriction, so that way I can run it down and not have to worry about that exploding on me possibly, but for that line pressures. But yeah, that's a basic kit for this. I don't think I'm going to be switching to an electronic fuel pump. I'm going to stay with mechanical, because I replaced that. I know that works and it gets fuel up to the carb. But to do with the carb, to upgrade that, which I'm also going to have to get a different intake for the different heads I'm going to be putting on this. So I'm going to be getting the one that's made for, I believe it's like a Vortex style intake that has a bigger runners. So I'll be doing that. And for a carburetor, I'm going to be taking the one off of this one. That's a 750 double pumper, and it's a Proform body with a Proform bowls and a base. And I'm going to be putting that on this to see what that'll do, because I got a Holley X-Flow Sniper that I'm going to be putting on this, which I'll get to this one in another video, but I'm going to give you the gist of it in this video of what I'm going to do with this. So I'm going to do that, put that on here. So that should actually open this car up quite a bit more, be more aggressive, and it should push out much more power. So and so we also have a rear end that we can also swap into this if we really wanted to see what it would run with a 373 in it, that this car also has, and it wakes up like you wouldn't believe. But we could put it in this, run it down the track, see what that runs, and that would give us a better time. And it's also a posi, so we can always do that on one of the budget build go along kind of projects. But before we get too far ahead, don't forget to subscribe if you guys want to know more about what's going on with these, and so you can stay caught up on what we do. There's definitely gonna be a lot more content this summer on these two racing, getting this to be a similar version of that but on a budget. Yeah, so that's that. I also have an aluminum radiator I'm going to be putting in this. It's a 4-row, so it's going to be probably sitting out to about probably about from here to here is what I have. So we're going to have to do some adjusting somewhere to make it fit. Not sure quite yet. I might have to try finding a universal fan shroud for this. I might even get a big block one that might be enough to kind of cut up and fix around what we need to do. But I got aluminum rad for that will make fit. But that's kind of the big plan for this car. But the first thing I'm probably going to end up doing completely is doing an upgrade on that, which I got to order truck load airbags for this, so that way I can tow the car trailer with either of these or any other cars that we take to the track. And we'll get it ready. I already got the spacers for the airbags. I just got to order the airbags and the compressor now, so that way this will be safe and good to go for the highway. I might even change out the hitch because factory hitches are kind of sketchy. I've seen some in the accidents where they just don't exactly you know, hold up to the weight from being rear-ended, so I don't like how that looks. So I might put in a heavier duty Kurt one that's a weight class 3, I believe. But that's what we're going to do on that. That's going to be upcoming couple weeks once I get the parts in for that. So we'll be working on that a little bit. Might even upgrade the bumper, not sure yet, depends. But yep, so what we need is traction bars, which we'll be doing different videos of each upgrade, kind of see what they do. So we'll do traction bars. Also got to get a different set of tires with slicks on it to be able to get traction on this. So I have to get another set of wheels and tires for the back end. Traction bar, posi, intake, heads. I might need another air cleaner, so we got a few things we got to do still. And then we're going to install the radiator, which this car gets hot. I'm thinking it's because the condenser's in the front of it, so it gets hotter, so that's why I'm putting the bigger rad in. Then I'm also putting in electric fans to help cool it down even more, which I could honestly probably put in the front of this. It'll just be enough to clear it, I hope. We'll find out. So that's kind of the idea for this. We're going to leave it in automatic with the 350 that's in it. I got to fix one leak on the bottom to make sure we're good to go. Let's keep water in this just to keep it from, in case the line or hose pops off on the track, so we'll be good on that. But that's it for this for right now. We'll be getting more into it when I start getting more parts for it and we can start pulling the motor. Well, we'll do one race down whenever the track's open in spring, and then we'll be doing some scientific involvements with this to figure that out. And for this car here, since we're getting the X-Flow on here, we're going to prep this one up for a big block. Not sure what size yet, but brace your guys yourself. I'm going to leave the 3-row in it because there's no condenser in here, so it's getting all the wind it needs. Make sure I got to make sure I get different cap and rotor and a ignition module for the distributor, just in case that doesn't want to go. Which I might even put a, not sure yet, but possibly an HEI with a whatchamacallit in it, a red liner or a rev limiter in it, just to help prevent, in case something doesn't want to work out or shift, we can at least stop it from wanting to blow itself up. And then I'll be putting one of those in this too to keep this from wanting to explode a little bit. But we'll be having a big block in this possibly maybe with this year or next year, not sure yet. But I'm going to put the Holley X-Flow in. That's good for 800 horsepower, which this is probably pushing about I'm going to say about 400-ish at the least. We're going to get different wheels and tires, I think, for this. This one has the, you know, the pro street look to it, but I love the wheels on this, but I might upgrade the wheels and tires to something like a Nitto tire and possibly a US wheel, or I forget the brand. I'll have to leave it. I'll have to let you guys know whenever I remember which one it is, but we'll have that. This motor is going to be good. It's going to sit on the bench. We know it runs good. We ain't going to take nothing off of it. We ain't going to disassemble nothing on it, but it runs good. Everything on this is pretty much about where I want it to be. I also have a 6-speed I'm going to be putting in this eventually, so that'll be another part of the project before we put the big block in this, because we might put a big block and the 6-speed in at the same time, or we'll see. I also have a 383 I got to build that might be built for a supercharger for something. We're not sure yet, but you have to stick around to find out. But here's the traction bars I was telling you about that I'm going to eventually put on this, which I might even paint them charcoal so they kind of just blend in, but they look good. But that's the slap bars, or I guess they call it like a slider link traction bar. They go in place of where your purchase would be on the car itself for the leaf springs, and you can kind of see it just kind of sits up right where the mount is. So that's what we're going to be putting on to that one over there. All in all, it's going to be a big festive filled summer. Hoping to be going racing at least every weekend, bring you guys more content, and we'll just kind of see what we can do on a budget. We ain't trying to break no records, but just trying to have fun, not trying to break no cars, just having fun with it and kind of enjoying the weekend night or the weekend out. You'll be seeing some other cars, possibly of ours, going down the track just to see what they'll run. We're not trying to break no records, like I said, but it's just gonna be something fun that we can all kind of enjoy about, and even possibly see you guys out at the track too if you guys are there. But yeah, this is kind of what my idea is for this summer, so I hope you guys are going to be as excited about it as I am, because I'm excited to get this one down the track and see what it runs, because I don't exactly know. Then see what the engine upgrades will do to it once we put the heads on, the cam, and the carburetor, and a different intake, because it's going to be a different setup. So we're bringing in more air, so higher CFM. Then I need to get a rev limiter for this, different cooling, and then the tires and the posi, so everything just kind of kick into it, and then also the traction bar. So I'm excited to see what all that's going to do. We're going to do one part at a time, or one accessory part of it at a time. So we'll do a posi, possibly the traction bars first, after we run it the way it is right now, and then we'll put the posi in, the traction bars, see what that runs another weekend, and then we'll do the engine, then find out what it does on another weekend with all the with the radiator and everything else. So that's it. And then we'll possibly see if this one, if we try to take this one to the track or not sure. Before we bought it, the guy said it ran 12s or 11s, but it also needed a lot of work. It's also not the way it is now. So the way it is now should run at least maybe 12s at the latest, at the most. But I never took it on the track. Not sure if I'm going to yet, just because of the 4-speed, but I won't beat it up. I'm just gonna, you know, mosey it on down and see what it does, if anything. So that's that, and all this. So that's kind of my update for you guys to know what we're going to be doing. Hopefully you guys are excited. I'm excited. So yeah, it's really about all I got for you guys. Let me leave in the comments of what you guys think about this. If you guys are on board with it or not, let me know. I hope to kind of bring more entertainment for you guys and all. Possibly other builds too coming. Not sure yet, but we'll have other engine stuff going into stuff. I know that's gonna need one soon. So you guys let me know what you guys think. If it's a good idea or not, let me know. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for us. I appreciate you guys tuning in to get our updates, and hope to be back on soon. So hope you guys have a good winter, and we'll see more stuff happening in the spring here. So I got a Jeep to work on, finish up to get it out of the garage so I can put this in and start doing some more work on both of these, because I gotta change the fuel system on that for the Holly to work, and I gotta make a fuel system work on this without cutting original lines up, so I can save on that. I'll have to make my own line. I'll have to get some steel line to fit down there for that too. So lots of work ahead of us, so I'm excited. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys haven't done yet, please subscribe. Again, if you want to see more content, do it now, so that way you can stay caught up with it. I hope to have a lots of fun this weekend, or this upcoming summer, with racing and just having fun, cruising, doing whatever. So that's about it. Yeah, any questions, leave comments, and don't forget to like. And that's gonna do it for us. So thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks.